Well, my name is LaRhea Pepper. I wear a couple of different hats. First and foremost, I'm an organic cotton farmer. I have an organic cotton farm out in West Texas. So I grew up there as a child and lived there the majority of my life. I'm also have the blessing to be the general manager for the Textile Exchange. We're a nonprofit that acts globally to influence and persuade brands and retailers to use more sustainable fibers.
Hmm.
And we work with their supply chains. We also work with point of source. Like we have probably close to, I don't know, 1.8 something million organic farmers in 26 different countries that we also work with to have market visibility, best practices, those kinds of things. So we're working to change agriculture, and we feel like it could be a market-driven solution by getting brands and retailers and ultimately their consumers to purchase more responsible fabrics and materials.
Like, okay, my first question is this. Is it possible to clothe everybody with organic clothing? Like, I mean, considering the fact that up until the year 1650, there were like 500 million people on Earth. Now there's like whatever billions, 7, 8, 9, I don't even know how many billions.
Right.
Is it even possible?
I think conceptually, yes, we can clothe the world with more responsible fabrics and fibers.
Interesting.
And essentially, we have to. We have to start using more responsible forms of agriculture in order to impact climate change. There's a wonderful series of information and PowerPoints on, if we change agriculture to use to do the carbon sequestration that organic agriculture does and things like that, the impact that we can have on mitigating the upcoming temperature change if we don't. So there's a lot of compelling reasons to have this passion.
Like, I wish that I could actually meet someone that owns a pesticide company so I could give him some things to reflect on. I wouldn't necessarily preach to him or her.
Okay.
So, it's interesting that you think that we could actually do this, that we actually do not even need pesticides for starters.
I think there's ways to mitigate, and there's places, quite frankly, that maybe crops should not be grown because of the high insect pressure. So,
Hmm.
but I feel like there's with insectary strips, with a lot of things, there are ways to eliminate them from our production systems. Yes.
Now, I'm wearing today, this is organic, the yellow one.
Good.
And this is not organic, but I bought this before I really knew
Became
much about
aware. Yeah.
this. Is that purple thing organic?
Yes, sir.
Do you only wear organic?
When I have a choice, yes.
You don't always have a choice.
No, the market is not fully mature. But you know, and so there's some things that are not available in all sizes and all this and all that. But certainly there's more choice now than there was, 20 years ago when it comes to basics, sheets, towels, pants and shirts and, the basics, there is a choice. Sometimes when you get into, and what's beautiful now is that with the other more sustainable fibers like Tencel and responsible down and responsible wool and different things like that, it's not just about cotton, it's about a portfolio of choices, whether it's linen or recycled polyester. So it's not just about organic cotton, it's about other materials that have lower impacts on the environment or social impacts, quite frankly. So we really promote fair trade, and but of course organic linen, organic silk, and some of those are not as readily available. There's not a full offering, and so again, it's about a portfolio of choices.
That is awesome. Because, you actually said two things that I almost never hear anywhere. Responsible down and recycled polyester.
Mm-hmm.
You do not hear that very often.
No, but they're growing. They're growing in use as well.
Huh. So organic cotton is like one spoke of the wheel, and
Exactly.
it's all important.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
And that's another thing. It's we are sophisticated clientele, and we want colors and we want textures and we want drape and we want flow. It's not just about the social or the environmental components of that garment. It still has to be, for some people, the right brand, for some people, the right cut, the right feel, the right
Right, right,
whatever.
right.
So clothing has to meet our social, our business needs as well. And so it becomes complex then in order to. Eileen Fisher's a great example. You have stores there in New York City. You could go into one of their stores. They have a wonderful portfolio of choices of what they're doing to be more environmentally and socially responsible in the clothing that they're offering to their clientele.
Do you personally feel a difference just on a physical level when you wear, like, when was the last time you wore a conventional cotton anything?
Oh, goodness. Probably last week when I was playing out in the snow, and you just wear long johns, and so it's. I have to say, I don't have the allergy sensitivities that some clients do. So there's a lot of people who wear organic cotton because it is a medical or a lifestyle choice to reduce toxins in their environments, and so they start wearing organic in order to alleviate those kinds of things. I'm blessed. I don't have those kinds of sensitivities. I have to say, I feel better intellectually, perhaps, when I am able to wear organic or recycled or whatever, the linens, the wools, I love indigenous designs because they have lovely flowy tops that I can wear. So I have to say I feel better because I'm able to. It's just like when I go to the grocery store. I love it when I live in a little bitty town, 7,000 people in Wyoming, Lander, Wyoming, and I love being able to go to the checkout and everything in there that I really want is organic. Organic chicken broth, organic milk, organic butter, and so it is about. The vast majority of people who are buying organic right now are doing it because they're supporting a life. They're that philosophical choice about respecting the environment, respecting the people. It ultimately is about the people and the planet. And so, of course, I feel better when I'm able to vote with my dollar, so to speak, to support the things that are important to me.
That market that you're describing, is that a health food store or it's just a regular market that has...
This is a regular market, little bitty town. We don't have a health food store here.
But so they sell regular and organic, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Isn't it weird that I have to say regular for conventional?
Yeah, conventional, whatever. Mm-hmm.
But it's funny that I and most people refer to like that as regular when organic is the only thing that existed for billions of years.
Billions of years, exactly.
And conventional, which is unconventional, which should be called unconventional.
Yeah, it came with the Industrial Revolution of more food, more productivity, and on the same amount of land, pushing using synthetic fertilizers to boost the production. It was a whole part of, coming out of World War II, actually, of accessibility and availability to those kinds of chemicals, as well as the mentality of taking agriculture to an industrial kind of place.
But is it true that some of these chemicals were actually used?
That's where their roots come from. Is some of the work, the World War II scientific research and stuff that was done in those years. Yeah.
See, isn't that crazy? I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and this is like a whole other episode.
Right.
So I don't want to get into that. But it's funny because this is not like a conspiracy thing. That you could see this on mainstream regular news sites that. And I'm not an expert in this, but I know that some or all these pesticides were like used in the Holocaust, right?
Some of them, especially the nerve agents, if they're a neurological disruptor, yeah.
Because
trace it back. It's a great study to do, yeah.
I mean, because you think like whatever these things are, because most people don't even know. Like, I don't even know exactly what pesticides are. They just know that like it hurts or kills. Or like makes bugs go away from the crops. But you got to think in large amounts that would hurt people. Even in small amounts it hurts people.
Right.
Which my goal is to get through to the regular people that don't give an SH about this kind of a thing. Now, in
Mm-hmm.
my view, there's a lot of people that are actually like me up until recently when I really started paying attention to this. Like, I only eat organic, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't, but most of my clothes were like 90% unconventional. I'm gonna stop using the word conventional because we agreed that it was just in the last like 70 or 100 years, out of billions of years, I would call that unconventional.
Go for it.
I think that we're actually doing them a favor by calling it conventional.
I don't know where the term started years ago, in the early '90s. I have no idea where that term got coined.
Well, I'll
Back when.
tell you something. Words like that frame the conversation in their favor,
That's true.
because it makes it seem like they're the standard. So that's,
They're certainly the majority. Yeah, words do frame that. So I agree with your point.
okay. So most people I know shop at health food stores, but they don't think about this.
Right.
And there's a couple of reasons why that is. Most people don't care, okay, for a couple of reasons. One is they don't see how it affects them.
Personally, right.
Right.
The apple that they're eating, they get it, but how does this garment impact my health personally? Yeah, it's a big mind. It's a mindset gap, definitely.
Right. That's one thing. And another thing is most people use pesticides on their own lawns.
Yeah,
Um,
better
I,
life through chemicals is their attitude.
I know you have no job opportunities right now, but I just want to put this out there. If I was the head of marketing, here's what I would do. Here's what I would recommend to you. We both know that cotton is sprayed more than pretty much any. Cotton is sprayed with more pesticides than almost any other crop,
True.
right? So, what I would recommend you do is hire a epigeneticist, someone that does epigenetics, and see if the types of pesticides that are used on cotton create epigenetic markers in developing fetuses. Because everybody loves babies.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wants to hurt babies. This is like an animal rights thing. I always wanted to go into like a bar and do like microphone interviews with guys that are eating like 10-cent wings and like show them pictures of factory farming just so they get
Right.
instant connections. In your world, this is what will make people make an instant connection. Because epigenetics is kind of easy to understand, in my view. Like, we have trillions of living
Yeah, we don't have that smoking gun in the early '90s that the ALAR scare with apples did to really wake people up to pesticides that are on your food and they impact your health. So we don't have that direct smoking gun, so to speak, of why organic fibers are better for you and your immediate health environment. It's a bigger conceptual issue of about the people who do grow organic cotton or do grow cotton and the impacts it has on their lives. So, and some people get that skin's their largest organ in their whole body, and what you do, the sheets you sleep on, for example, do impact your quality of life. If you're sleeping on permanent press sheets, they use formaldehyde to take out, the natural coils and kinks that are in cotton. And so if you're using permanent press anything, it's some of the finishes and the resins and things like that are on your skin. A lot of people, they just don't get that. They want, again, it goes back to the bigger purpose of the perception of the bigger purpose of clothing, of image and comfort and color and et cetera, et cetera.
I'm gonna help you create that smoking gun.
Okay.
Let me ask you a favor. Let me ask you a question. Would it be of service to you to have a smoking gun?
Absolutely.
Okay, done deal. I'm gonna give you the smoking gun right now. Okay, so check this out. And I'll even help you create it. Okay, as I see it right now, there's no smoking gun, but there is a disassembled gun on a table that just needs to be assembled for it to shoot and become a smoking gun. Now, I'm not kidding when I say this, because here's the parts of the disassembled gun. One is the field of epigenetics.
Okay.
One is people using pesticides on their own lawn, and all I could do is give you the gun. I don't know exactly, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
The
But
concept. Okay,
yeah,
you're talking about a concept then. All right.
yes. Now, most people most people with lawns that use pesticides on their lawns don't, they have kids that run on the lawns and bring those pesticides into the home. Though at the same time, those pesticides, and I found this on a .gov website. This is not like any conspiracy, anything. Not the kids running on the lawn part, but the part what I'm about to say. That pesticides get into our groundwater.
Right.
That groundwater gets into our fish. Now we eat.
And we out of in our faucets. We just drink it.
Okay, see, I didn't even know that. That's another part of the solution.
Most of your wells are there's groundwater, and then there's uh, just right below the surface water with the well water, and so there's pesticides and things like that that are found in all kinds of irrigation and house wells and civic wells, and yep, it's happening.
So, okay, so when I market things, I have a feeling you're not going to like this, but when I market things, I'm not afraid to use curse words sometimes. So, like, I would personally make, like, a sign, let's say you have a booth somewhere, it says, "This is why you should give an SH." And you could soften it, like SHXT or something like that. This is why you should give a SH. Because I don't want to say generalize, many people need to hear it this way. Like, for example, bros, like just like aggro guys that go to the bar and watch football that don't think about this ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you get those people on your side and help them understand why they should care, you have a lot of people on your side. Like, I need to put all my thoughts into a blender and then spit them back out at you.
All right.
Okay, give me 1 second. Now, a big part of it is you need an epigeneticist on your side.
Once people get it, like you get it, then you're passionate about it. But how you reach different audiences, what data, what
No,
information it takes
I
to
got that answer. I know how
be
to
a
reach.
mind changer.
I don't
Yeah,
know how to reach all audiences, but I know how to reach the bros.
somebody, yeah, the bros audience. Okay,
Okay, and that's a lot of people. That's a lot of bros. Okay,
right.
so because I know, I don't want to call them bros, but I know a lot of just regular. I actually had a debate with somebody just last week on this program that I haven't uploaded yet. He's starting a t-shirt business, and he wanted me to start a t-shirt business with him. And I told him, let's only sell organics, because you have to understand, there's designs on the t-shirts. So it's already not eco-friendly. It's eco-friendlier with like
Right.
a organic t-shirt. And I'm like, we're already, I'm not even
It's a
like,
continuum. It's a continuum. It's a journey, and you do what you can along that journey. Yep.
and for him, it was just about choice until I told him about epigenetics. People do understand that if something hurts children, that's like effed up. Like, we're not supposed to do that. And
That's a line you don't cross.
yeah,
Yeah.
and what's more sacred than children? An embryo in development. I mean, that's like hurting an angel. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
hmm
So this would
I
be
think it's fascinating concept. Yeah.
okay. No, let's start with our inner world. Our world is made up of trillions, not only, but it's also made up of trillions of cells. Trillions of cells. Like, on the end of a pin, I think you could have like 10,000 cells.
hmm
So, and you're living in a really healthy way when your cells are communicating and living in harmony.
Resonating. Yep.
Resonating. And I actually did a program, and if you ever want to talk to her, I could do a three-way. I know a woman that does this amazing vibration therapy where she actually signals your cells to resonate with each other.
Yep.
In a very, very specific way. I mean, a lot of people do this. Nobody does it with the degree of specificity that she does. So, anyway, the cell thing is easy for people to understand. That we have a community inside of us that needs to be happy and get along together. If they're fighting, then we're out of balance and we become unhealthy.
Right.
On our planet, we are like cells. Not trillions, but there's billions of us, and we
Mm-hmm.
need to live in harmony. So and people get that. That's easy for people to understand. Everybody wants wars to end. Everybody wants us to live in harmony because they see that the world is out of balance. So all
And
you have,
everybody have access to health and healthy water and
yeah.
yeah,
So
education.
all
The whole yeah. Mm-hmm.
so all you have to say to them is, look, I know you care about yourself as much as you care about an embryo or the rest of humanity. Well, your your cells can potentially be in disarray from epigenetic markers that are caused not by the shirts that you wear, but by the food that we eat. They understand that if they go to a health food store, they're putting something healthy in their bodies, but they don't understand that if they buy an unconventional cotton shirt, that they're actually putting something bad in the food supply that could affect our epigenetics. That's what I wanted to say. They don't understand. Most people
The
don't understand.
connection.
Yes, not. And I'm just right now. I'm just talking about the first connection. They don't know that it winds up in their food supply, and they don't know that cotton is like 3% of the world's farmland and like 25% of the world's pesticides. I know I have that statistic a little bit wrong, and I'm sure you could.
That was actually correct in the early '90s, and right now it's still 3% of the aggregate land, but they've made significant improvements. I would say it's probably between 14 and 15% now, but it's nice to be rewarded to know that I've been preaching a long time on this, and that we are impacting agriculture in a positive way.
Like, I would like to reach completely regular people like I did with this other guy
Mm-hmm.
and preach 10%, but 90% ask questions that get them to reflect. And
Right,
because,
thought provokers. Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm just imagining that you have a pretty big social network, right?
It's growing. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, is it 10,000? Is it something like that?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to get in with Donna and them and see where they're at. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, because what I was going to say is, I think that you could actually take one of two different tactics. You could either create something like a GoFundMe. That's why I was asking how big your social network is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you could get an epigeneticist for cheap or free. I know cheap is a relative term, but I'm
Right.
saying on a scientific level, this may be very interesting to them.
Oh, yeah. And I think it is interesting for me, too, to think about how that kind of would resonate with it changing people. Just like we came out with a life cycle analysis on organic cotton a couple of months ago. And it's really concrete, tangible impacts where that research would also be very concrete, tangible impacts that you could share with people. So, yeah, I
I
think it's a fascinating concept.
I could actually help you create or put you in touch with someone that could create something that would just put this in a really blunt way, like why you should give a
An infographic, yeah.
yeah. Um, just so simple, like showing a picture of someone walking into a store. That I don't want to name the name of a store, but like go. I have one in my head. I'm like, so anyway. Yeah. So back to the epigenetic thing. I think you could either get someone that would do it for free, because it would be interesting to them,
Mm-hmm.
or, and yeah, I mean, I think it would be interesting to them. Or if you have a big social network, you could probably just put some money together on like a GoFundMe or something like that, and find someone that maybe would have even done it for free anyway, and just give them some money. Like, you probably could raise more than you would think, because the thing about these GoFundMes and stuff like that is it's really about the sharing. Like, if you have if you just don't even encourage people to contribute. I mean, don't tell them don't contribute, but I'm saying just get it out there that the important thing is for them to share. Just share and share and share. If it gets to enough people, you'll make enough money. Because, I mean, I really think you could actually find someone to do this pro bono, But if whatever money you can make, you could even just tell them, like, whatever we make, I'll just give this to you, and they'll share it.
Well, it'll be interesting for you to follow up with your friend that's the researcher and everything, and yeah, just plant the seed, and you know how to find me and track me down. You got my email and information, so
I,
I think it's great to see your wheels turning, and it is about talking to people and letting people know and creating awareness, and so yeah, it's good
but
to
I could help you with
see an
this. I'm saying
inquisitive mind. Yeah.
I make entertaining videos. I could potentially, just go up to people on the street with a microphone and talk to them about where their shirt came from. I know you have to go, but there's like 10,000 questions I never asked you, and I just want to ask you, like, can I just ask you like one or two questions?
Sure.
Okay. One is cottonseed oil is like in so many foods.
Right.
This is another thing that I would recommend go on the graphic design. It's in like our
That's
cheapest.
how we got cotton in on the food certification for organic, is because by weight, the majority of what comes out of the field is actually the seed. So,
Mm,
22 to 25% of it is lint, and the rest of it is seed. So that's how we got in the early 90s cotton to be able to be a part of that enabling legislation for basically organic is about food. So it is. That's a huge thing. And our cottonseed from our cooperative is sold straight to dairies, fuzzies and all, and it goes right into organic milk because by weight, cottonseed has huge amounts of great protein, and so the dairies love organic cottonseed. So we sell our seed there. But right now, to my knowledge, there's not any organic cottonseed oil, simply because we don't have the volumes, the
oh,
critical
really?
mass to to get it pressed and all that. So if it says cottonseed in your food, it's unconventional, as you're calling it.
That's
So
really
to my
interesting.
knowledge, there's not any organic cottonseed oil because it's going into the cattle feed, dairy feed, because we don't have the volume. There's not the volumes. Plus, the dairies really want the seed.
I'm gonna type in organic cottonseed oil as we speak. I just want to see because I have a feeling it's out there. But
All right, check it out.
how many more minutes can I be on? Can you be on the phone?
About 3 or 4 more.
Oh, damn. Okay. Perhaps we could do a part 2 one day.
Sure.
Okay. Quick stuff. I found it really interesting on the staff part of your website. I love these innovative names you have. Like someone was the integrity coordinator.
Right.
I love that. Um, what you need to do is get a former pesticide company owner on your side, or
Mm.
facilitate a conversation between me and you with a pesticide company owner.
Hmm. The owners are really hard to get to. There's a lot of people in the middle that are salesmen and all that kind of stuff. And I've had several interesting conversations with the sales rep level folks. Um, yeah, it would be an interesting conversation.
Okay, since I only have like 2 more minutes, here's another quick thing. An easy way to get regular people to understand. Promote the video called What Plants Talk About.
Oh, I'll have
Because
to go see that.
you are gonna love it.
Okay.
It's under an
What
hour.
plants talk about?
It's right, it's under an hour, and it literally is about how plants communicate. Think about this. Nobody would cut down trees if every time we cut down a tree it cried like a baby.
Yeah.
And the only reason people cut down things is because we can't understand their cries. For
Mm.
example, when you cut grass, a lot of people like the smell of fresh cut grass, including me, but that smell is actually the way of the grass communicating that it's screaming in pain. So that humanizes plants, and that's something I think that you could use, in your artillery.
Cool. I'll go check it out.
I'm going to just ask you one last thing, because I need to know this. What
Okay.
is cotton? Like, why does the plant produce it?
It's just like it's the same question of why does a plant with thorns produce a rose bloom? or an orange tree have oranges. It bears fruit, and so like an orange tree has oranges, an apple tree has apples.
So
So
is the function to protect the seeds? I guess I'm asking what's the function?
the function of the fiber,
Yeah.
hmm, probably because seeds are life. So probably it is to protect the seeds.
This is why it's so important to create an organic cottonseed oil industry, because then we're really respecting the plants, because we're taking away this thing that protected the seeds, but we're still doing something with the seeds.
Yeah, and that's one mechanism, one way. I feel really good about the cows that are eating my organic cottonseed. And I drink the milk. So I think we're being productive and proactive at this point in time. But you're right, more volume as we get into more volume, you definitely need to have options for the cottonseed oil. Awesome. Well, it's great to meet you, and keep up the good work and keep me posted. Like I said, you know how to find me.
All right, please mention your website one more time.
The website is organic. Excuse me. It's our website is textileexchange.org. Come check us out.
Thank you so much for being on here.
All right. You have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye bye.
All right, bye.